Imagine this for a moment. You're out on a quiet hike, not the loud, crowded kind, the kind where the world feels far away. Leaves crunch beneath your boots. The air is cold and clean, filled with pine and damp earth. No voices, no phones, just you and the trail. You follow a path that barely looks like a path at all. And then, something catches your eye. Off to the side, half hidden in the underbrush. At first, you think it's nothing. A branch, maybe. Or an old animal carcass broken down by time. You step closer. Curiosity has a way of doing that. Your heart skips. That's not an animal. Those are bones. Human bones. Scattered. Silent. Like secrets the forest never meant to keep. And the worst part? No one knows who they belong to. Even now, years later, their identity remains a complete mystery. Welcome to a case that chills straight to the core. Let's rewind. It's a cool autumn afternoon in 2018, deep in the forests of the Pacific Northwest. Towering evergreens, misty air, miles of wilderness with no one around. The man who finds them is a local hiker named Alex. Mid-40s, experienced. Someone who knows these woods like the back of his hand. But that day, something feels wrong. The wind whispers through the trees, carrying a faint, musty smell he can't quite place. Birds call overhead, but down below, the forest is unnervingly still. Alex veers off the trail. Not far, just enough. And that's when he sees it. A flash of white through the ferns. Can you picture it? Your boot sinks into soft moss, and there it is. A long, slender bone protruding from the dirt. He freezes. At first, he tells himself it's a deer. Hunters leave remains out here all the time, so he nudges it with his boot. And then, he sees more. A rib cage, partially exposed. A skull, staring back from the shadows. The jaw hangs loose, as if frozen mid-scream. His stomach drops. The air feels heavier now, like the forest itself is holding its breath. Alex backs away, shaking, fumbling for his phone. No signal. Of course. He scrambles uphill, heart pounding, until a single bar appears. 911. I think I found human remains. Within hours, the woods are no longer quiet. Sheriff's deputies arrive. Forensics teams in white suits. Yellow tape flutters between trees like ghostly ribbons. They search for days. Bones scattered across a 20-foot radius. Some gnawed by animals, others bleached pale by sun and rain. And when the medical examiner confirms it, yes, human. Undeniably human. But that only raises the real question. Who was this person? The remains are sent to a state forensics lab. Piece by piece, experts try to rebuild a life from fragments. Time since death? Somewhere between 5 and 15 years. The bones show long exposure, weathered, cracked, roots threading through them like nature's own burial shroud. This wasn't a proper burial. It was abandonment or disappearance. Forensically, the individual was likely male, between 35 and 55 years old, around 6 feet tall. Tall enough to be remembered, you'd think. Ancestry points to European descent, possibly mixed heritage. Then they notice something strange. Healed fractures, old injuries, ribs, one femur, not fresh, not fatal. Signs of a past accident or a hard life. But here's the part that stops investigators cold. No signs of trauma at death. No clear cause. No evidence screaming murder. No proof of an accident either. And then, another silence. No dental work. No fillings. No crowns. Nothing to match against records. And personal items? None. No clothing remnants. No shoes. No backpack. No wallet. Just bones. As if the forest stripped away not only the body, but the story too. Authorities pull out every tool they have. DNA is extracted from the bone marrow and run through CODIS. Nothing. Uploaded to NamUs. Still nothing. Isotope analysis offers a faint whisper of a past. The chemistry suggests he may have grown up in the Midwest, Ohio, Illinois. Later years spent in colder regions. A diet heavy in grains and fish. Possibly a drifter. Possibly someone who moved often. Possibly someone trying not to be found. The theories pile up. A lost hiker? A man who wandered off and never came back? Or something darker? Someone brought here on purpose? Investigators chase lead after lead. A man from Chicago, missing since 2010. So close, but DNA says no. A construction worker missing in 2012. Healed fractures line up. Isotopes don't. Facial reconstructions are made. Clay, digital, shared online. Tips flood in. Looks like my uncle. I knew someone like him. Every tip followed. Every door knocked. Every one a dead end. Years pass. Funding fades. The file gathers dust. But the remains stay. Waiting. And this is why this case lingers. In an age of DNA miracles, of cold cases solved decades later, this man remains unknown. No name, no family, no closure. Somewhere, someone might still be wondering. A sister, a friend, a coworker who lost touch and never followed up. Or maybe, no one noticed at all. Across the U.S., thousands of John and Jane Does sit in databases just like this one. Found by accident, buried without names, lives erased quietly. That's the part that should haunt you. Not the bones, but the idea that a human being can vanish so completely. One wrong turn, one bad day, and the world keeps moving. But this story isn't finished. Because stories like this don't end when answers stop. They end when someone remembers. So if that face, that reconstruction, that description sounds familiar, check the links below. NamUs, the Doe Network. And if this case stayed with you, if it made you pause, like, subscribe, share it. Because sometimes the only justice left is being seen. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.